seen across the country. Okay, here he goes. John Deere fans, bitten piece as he calls it. St. Paul, Nebraska, John Deere 4430. Ron Johnson doing the driving. He'll be the test competitor here in this class. After he makes his run, the officials will decide if they're satisfied with the weight setting on the sled. If they're satisfied at that time, then Ron would have the option of coming back. Oh, wild ride. He's really hopping and jumping. Now he has the front end high in the air. 150, still going, sets it down, bounces and hops down about the 200-foot mark. And Ed, I'm thinking maybe he would like to possibly run that over. You can see front end high in the air, but as we have seen many times in the past, when they drop that number one hook, they hurt themselves. This is a tough track here at Indy.
Well, and as the test driver, Les, he will have the opportunity to come back and make another run, because when you draw and they have this little ball machine and you reach in and you pull yourself out a ball, and so we'll wait and see. But he might decide to take that. Now, there's been guys that said we'll take the second pull and paid dearly. Harold Wilson did that earlier, and it cost him $1,000.
Okay, back, broke on the second run, never got him into the money. In the class, there's 10 of them, and these are the 10 top guys in the country. They qualified moves going into these engines. And when those RPMs start to back off just a little, that means the fuel is actually drowning out the air. Put a lot of air and put a lot of fuel in it. If they don't have the right RPMs and everything to match that combination, it drowns them out. Here he goes. The green flag is out. Mike Smith at the wheel. The John Deere machine comes out. He's coming out hard. Looks like a good run. He's weighted just about right. Just carrying the front end. He's looking extremely strong. 150, 200, and no doubt about it. He's right up there at the 234-foot mark.
All right.
John Deere fans, let's hear it for him. Mike Smith.
Mike Smith. Caledonia. Mike and Kenny Smith setting the pace, perhaps. And they're awfully close, Les. We'll get a reading on the laser beam. When you see that green light come on at the west end above the door there it is. You'll know that they'll flash it up in just a couple of seconds. There it rolls out, 230 feet and 10 inches for Mike Smith, the Mike and Kenny Smith team out of Ohio, 230 and 10.
Good run he laid down. Here on the instant replay on the TV, we can see coming out and really staying with the program, getting it straightened out for the first 50, 75 feet. Once he got it straightened out, he picked the front end, carried it all the way down the track, and spins out right at the 230-foot, 10-inch mark. Good run for Mike Smith. For a brand new setup, they had to be well satisfied. 4 turbocharger systems together.
Les, this tractor came off the assembly line late 60s, around 67, 68, along in there. Ladies and gentlemen, Al Cook tightening the chain. As Les told you, 4 turbos under the hood.
AC fans cheer him on as he starts to bring it out of the hole. Going hard. He looks like he has a good run going. He's looking strong. He's got the horsepower. All he has to do is keep it all together, and he's really chewing and digging. And good run for Al Cook. Not enough to get in the number 1 spot, Ed, but you'd have to be well pleased with that run.
230 and 10 was the figure he was after as we watch this checkered flag at this end. Good run by Al Cook from Indianapolis, Indiana. Hot running ACD 21.
There it is on the monitor up at the end, 224 feet, 2 inches, 224 and 2 for Al Cook. He's 6 foot short of that distance set by Mike Smith. On the instant replay, you can see finishing out at 224 and 2. Goes out of the hole, goes towards the left side of the track, back towards the right just a little bit. Starts to get it straightened out, but in that little zigzag from the left to the right, they have lost some traction, which hurt the length of his pull. Next guy to hook and make his run. Coleman Wheatley out of Bethel.
Been here before. Tough competitor, Les.
Region 1 and Region 4 champion. He's qualified in both regions. Pulls quite a bit in the southern circuit during the winter months up until this year. Of course, in 1985, Coleman's just purchased about 450 to 500 acres more, so he's going to be busy this spring. Probably will not hit the southern circuit quite as hard. And as he was saying, maybe not even hitting the Region 1 circuit as hard because of his farming commitments. He's an excellent farmer, and that does come first. That's why he has the kind of machines that he has. Here he goes, starts to ease it out. Coleman Wheatley gets on it. He's got a nice run going. He's looking strong. Well weighted, 150. He's getting close to off to the left side and back to the right. He has to be well pleased with that run.
And you should have seen the expression on his face when he come rolling by the 150-foot mark, gritting those teeth, hanging onto that steering wheel, and going for the money. Coleman Wheatley, ladies and gentlemen, let's give him a nice round of applause. And Coleman, we appreciate the pride in that tractor. 216 feet, 3 inches. 216.3 for Coleman Wheatley as he leaves the arena.
216 feet 3, 216 and 3. Puts him in the number 3 position. Here it is on the instant replay, and you can see as he gets up around that 200-foot mark, he really starts to hop and jump. First off the left side of the track, then back to the right. And that did cost him some distance there when it pulled him off Wrangler. This is the only international in the class. International fans,
The only one.
cheer him on. Cheer him on. He has a chance of doing it. He brings it out and turns it loose. He's got a good run going.
Boom!
Oh!
Boom!
And watch out on that side. That tire's going right down the track.
Stay back,
Just
Russell.
stand back and let it
There
fall
it
down.
is.
Just stand back and let
Just
it fall
stand
down.
back and let it go.
And the tire makes a full pull.
And the wheel has made a full pull.
Pull for the wheel.
You talk about some excellent footage for the television show. We've got it.
And stayed right up.
And the tire never went down.
Yeah, Mike Snyder out there does some flagging yet. Used to be competition director. Retrieved the wheel.
And a boy, Mike, just kind of laying up there against the red man side. Well, you never know what's going to happen at a tractor pull.
Tough break for him. Bill Redeker.
Well, you can see it on the other side, and it just, what the whole hub just came right out of there. Here's the instant replay. 145.9, Bill Redeker.
Let's look for a little hopper, John. We'll watch for the brake, maybe.
Oh,
That's it. Right there it was, Ed. When he hit the right brake to try and pull back towards the center.
look at this.
Hey, we got to time this tire. See how long that thing stayed up. Stand back and let it. We got what? Time enough for 7 guys to get around it and stop it.
All right, little trivia for you. Well,
I'm glad they were asking for a frisbee anyway.
yes, they could be asking for something else.
Well, we still have a couple left. You're running.
Here we go.
John Deere fans, here's your chance to put John Deere in first and second. Ruby Watson,
Texas.
State of Texas. Here he goes, strong competitor. He's a guy that can do it. He's going hard, carrying the front end. You can see it hopping just a little bit as that clutch just not locking in the way he would like it, but he has to be well pleased with that run.
All right, good run.
Good run for Ruby Watson. You can see it.
You
The
bet.
clutch just not grabbing. He may have had it set that way. You never know. Now, on these slipper clutches, when the RPMs go up, the centrifugal weights expand and they lock the clutch in. As soon as that tire starts to lock in, it starts to pull the engine RPMs down, and then the RPMs go down to where the clutch starts to slip. 227. That puts what? John Deere now in first and second. John Deere 1 and 2. They're in a 7,000-pound super stock class.
All right, trivia question.
Here it is, Ed. Watch how the tires, he comes out hard, and the tires start to at times ease up as that clutch starts to slip. Then they start to lock in when the RPMs go back up. So that hopping, what would you call it, the cowboy approach.
Cowboy approach, and you had to think that he had to ride that right brake. 15 and 15 seems like a long ways off, but you'll be surprised how fast the time will go.
Ron Johnson out of St. Paul. The John Deere machine. He made a test run. He took the option of coming back. Let's see how he fares out this time. He's going hard for it. Coming out well weighted. Has the front end just bouncing off the track. Maybe a little high. If anything, going hard at 200. Digging in and chewing, and he's right back up there where he was on the first run. Good run for Ron Johnson. He calls it bits and pieces out of St. Paul, Nebraska, the John Deere 4430. 2 good consistent runs there, Ed.
You bet. Came right back. So perhaps a good sound decision. The underdog team now, and Bert Stoffer.
Boy, they stand right now, 230 feet. Still Kenny Smith, the John Deere out of Caledonia High at number 1, 230 feet 10 inches. Number 2, Roby Watson, the John Deere 227. Number 3, Al Cook, the Alice Cowboy at 224. And Ron Johnson coming in number 4 at 222 and 6. So it's John Deere 1 and 2, AC 3, John Deere number 4. Coming out well weighted, has the front end just bouncing off the track, maybe a little high, if anything, going hard at 200, digging and chewing, and he's right back up there where he was on the first run. Good run for Ron Johnson. One of the smaller cubic inch tractors, running in the 7,000-pound class. Starts to bring up the RPM. Remember, Deutsch fans, he has to pass the 230-foot 10-inch mark if he wants to move up to number 1. Coming out, he's got the horsepower, picking the front end in the air, going hard, trying to keep it off that left battery line. This could be it. He is going hard. He's right out in there, and it looks like a full pull for the Deutsch machine.
You talk about
run for Bert Stauffer.
Boy, we've seen him do it before, Les, and there he did. He set the pace in this 7,000 super stock class. Bert Stauffer. Now they are in the business of selling Deutsch tractors. They know what makes them run.
Not only in the business of selling Deutsch tractors, but the big part of their business is a lot of the engine setups for generating units. Here it goes on the repull. You can see he comes out. He starts towards the left side of the track. In fact, he has his right foot on the right brake all the way up the track until he gets about the 150, 200-foot mark, and he leaves off and just slides it right out the end. And did you see it hit? He was happy. He threw up his hands.
Yes, sir. Threw his hands up. He knew he nailed it. And he just might have had, Les, the best tires. Bert Stauffer sits out there, and he's the guy to match. He can't be beat at this point. Somebody can match him with another full pull. If that happens, those of you who have been here before know we'll have a pull-on.
John Deere fans, cheer him on. This is the last guy that can put John Deere in that number 1 position. He needs a full pull if he's going to stay in the competition. Right now, at the end of the track with a full pull, Bert Stauffer, and he's pulled against Bert many, many times. He competes against Bert on the Region 1 circuit. He knows what it's all about. He's beaten him before. He'd like to do it right now. Coleman Wheatley going hard. He's really grinning and chewing. Front end in the air. He's got a good one going. If he can keep it off the left side of that track, still digging and chewing. This might be it. Going hard, and oh my! Awful close to the 234-foot mark, and Ed will wait for the replay, but it looks like when he came up the left side of the track, if he wouldn't have had to hit that brake, he may have gotten the extra distance to get it out to the end, but that braking over there really hurt him.
Yeah, he was riding it almost constantly, Les. I think the instant replay will show from 150 feet on, he was having to ride that right brake. But he did a good job because it was towing him to the left rather severely. There's the distance flashed up to 126 feet 3 inches and a popping good run. Here we go, instant replay. Here you got it right now. Hitting that brake awfully hard on the right side. Keeps her in bounds, Les, barely.
Well, you can see the time he hit that brake, the left tire stopped. When he hit the brake, the left tire stopping because it was really locking into the track and the other one spinning. 226 and 10. 226 and 10 does move him into the Haynes at the wheel. Here he goes.
Old Allen. All right, keep her coming. Oh, looking good. Oh!
No doubt about it. Keith Haynes taking it right out the end. And Ed, you can see why he was last year's Indy Super Bowl winner in this class. Now, he would like to get back-to-back wins. We talked about backing it up. Ronnie Reed did it earlier this weekend. Keith Haynes would like to do it. That puts 2 of them in the pull-off category. As he lays, let's give him a good hand. Keith Haynes, mean old Alice, he will be back.
All right.
On instant replay, here it goes. You can see really turning the tires, again working towards the left side of the track. It seems to be a favorite spot, but he stays right with it and slides it right out the end.
He knew exactly, too, Les, what he had to do. When you saw him come out of the chute at the 75-foot.
Turbocharger competed in the class when they had 3 and 4 turbochargers. Wes Gielau out of Denver, Iowa, ACD 21. He's looking strong for just 1 charger. He's going hard for it. The land handler front end in the air. side of the track. And Ed, you could tell it took the horsepower, and that's where the one Charger showed. But a great run. He qualified it as a pro stocker.
That's right.
He's very strong and consistent.
The land handler, Wes Gielau, Denver, Iowa. So that means we're ready to move into the pull-off now. 2 tractors. And I guess you would say that would be the ideal situation to run a class less and have 2 tractors out the end. So to our track crew and to our sled crew, guys, very well done. Bert Stoffer, a pull from Pennsylvania, and Max Simpson will bring their 2 tractors out. Let's give a nice hand, would you, ladies and gentlemen, as Wes Gielau leaves the Coliseum. Super running tractor with only 1 turbo.
Here it is on the instant replay. He comes out. Now, most of the other drivers gone to the Charger. He's over to the left side of the track. Wes went towards the right side. Maybe he was compensating for it. The track in the hole and came out, had to hit that left brake, and when took the extra horsepower, the loss of...
Now, ladies and gentlemen, how many of you think that the Deutsch can do it? Huh? Huh? How many of you think the Alice Chalmers is going to win? Huh? All right, here we go. I'm going to take the AC. You take your neighbor.
Okay, here he goes. Cheer him on. Bert Stout from the Deutsch 8006, the air call machine. Oh, having a tough time getting it out of the hole, getting it lined up. Going hard and really digging and chewing, fronting in the air, hopping and jumping and spinning out down there just a little bit past the 200-foot mark. And good run in, but I'm sure he would like to do that again. If you noticed, we'll wait for the instant replay. But when he came out of the hole, he was really jumping from side to side, never really getting those tires set. And when he did get them set, the front end came high in the air. And when it came back down, just went from side to side, lost a little traction. But no doubt about it, he's going to be hard to beat. Going to be in the winner's circle, and also we have to get the third place guy, the longest guy.
2:07 is the...
Give him a good hand. Good hand for Bert Stauffer in the Deutsch machine. Here it is on the instant replay. And look at this. As he comes out of the hole, he jumps through those ruts and goes from side to side before really getting it locked in and picking that front end up and carrying it down the track.
So we have set the stage now for the Mean Old Alice, runner-up in the nation in 1984. We're going to do it.
Can he do it?
Alice Chalmers, people, you can stand up and wave your hands. Let's go. Let's bring him out. The Mean Old Alice on the move, and a good start, last.
That's a good smooth start down the track. Not ever going in until he gets up past the 75-foot mark. Digging, chewing, going hard, and it looks awful close. Looks awful close to the flag. Let's wait and see.
I think we've blown past the flag. And the Alice Chalmers rack it up. Oh, I'm going to enjoy talking about that on the network in the morning.
Gonna have to wait for the measurement to see the exact measurement to see where it's at.
Let's give a nice round of applause.
Keith Haynes.
Mean Old Alice. There it is. 212 feet, 11 inches.
AC number 1, Deutsch number 2, John Deere number 3. Here it is on the instant replay. The winning run, Max Simpson, 212 feet, really stretches it out.